Hello, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates, and I'm sitting in my backyard on a beautiful October early evening, and I've told myself that I'm going to cut back on making videos and writing blogs because I've got some other priorities I need to get to, but I came across just a really interesting blog posting, and then I wrote about it, and now I want to talk about it. I like to create, so I'm going to try to do this quickly, and got to get to the store. So the topic today is how we, and then in parentheses, never, ever, ever end up marrying the wrong people, part one. I have a really wonderful client who is from the Bay Area in California, and she often struggles with concepts about the meaning of love and how in the world people can make lifelong marital commitments, and why do you pick who you pick. Recently, a girlfriend of hers sent her a blog posting. It's from something called the Philosopher's Mail. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. I believe it's from the United Kingdom. And I, of course, changed the topic. The topic of the blog was how we end up marrying the wrong people. And I, of course, totally and completely disagree with that in every fashion. But I thought it was really well written and brought up many wonderful, great points. I just wanted to have a discussion, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to riff off of this author's work. It didn't list the author, and I wish they would have, because I wanted to give them credit because they did a wonderful job. So I think it'll make a great discussion in the video. So here we go. This is them. Anyone we could marry would, of course, be a little wrong for us. It is wise to be appropriately pessimistic here. Perfection is not in the cards. Unhappiness is a constant. Okay, already that sounds like me. Did I write? I didn't write it. So I believe that's, of course, absolutely true. Unhappiness in love is a constant. Love is designed to tear down our defenses and to make us hurt, to make us bleed, and to give us an opportunity to really do some deep and effective work on ourselves. So, nevertheless, this is the author speaking, one encounters such couples who have so much primal grinding mismatch, such deep-seated incompatibility that one has to conclude that something else is at play beyond the normal disappointments and tensions of every long-term relationship. Some people simply shouldn't be together. So I respond to that, no, wrong, off base. This, of course, is a misconception of the very first order. But I know what the author is talking about. We all do. We know that couple that just seems to torture each other, and something else is at work with that couple. It's called massive unresolved abandonment issues and massive unresolved shame issues. That's what it is. When the inner children are inner babies, then the amount of distributed pain, reactivity, rage, hurt, tears, instability, embarrassment, and craziness is measured out in much larger doses than the average couple has to endure. The earlier and deeper the childhood wounds, the greater the grinding and the apparent incompatibility seems to be. So they say, how do such errors happen? With appalling ease and regularity, they say. Given that marrying the wrong person is about the single easiest and also costliest mistake any of us can make, and one which places an enormous burden upon the state, employers, and the next generation. It is extraordinarily and almost criminal that the issue of marrying intelligently is not more systematically addressed on a national and personal level as road safety and smoking are. They're right. Marrying intelligently. I love that. There's not a lot of intelligent marrying going on, folks. There's a lot of instincts. And I just think it would be funny if you know how we do the cigarette commercials that just freak people out because they're so blunt. You know, we could have one marketing campaign that says, say no to crazy chicks. Or say no to the bad boy, alcoholic guy. So I love the concept of marrying intelligently. The world would be a better place if we fell in love more slowly, with our eyes much wider open, with about 3 years of required therapy in order to qualify for a marriage license. I'm joking about the required part, but not the rest of it. The world would be a better place. The best time to do therapy is during courtship. The problem is a lot of people who are involved in courtship are 20-year-olds, 20 to 30, and they're not ready to do therapy. So they've got to get run over by some trucks. Now we midlife folks, if we find ourselves single, we know about the trucks. We know that the foo-foo that was said at the first wedding ceremony ain't true. And we know to be cautious and to have our eyes open because there's a lot of crazy out there. So the author says, it's all the sadder because in truth, the reasons why people make the false choices or the wrong choices are easy to lay out and unsurprising in their structure. They tend to fall into some of the following basic categories. And this is number one, and I think there's 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know how many there are. But I'm going to make as many videos. I'll probably combine some. I'll probably make about 3 videos to cover it. It's a pretty long blog. So, number one, we don't understand ourselves. When first looking out for a partner, the requirements we come up with are colored by a beautiful non-specific sentiment, vagueness, that we just want to find somebody who's kind, or fun to be with, or attractive, or up for adventure. It isn't that such desires are wrong, it's just that they're not remotely precise enough in their understanding of what we, in particular, are going to require in order to stand a chance of being happy. I'm losing my light here, I gotta talk fast. Or more accurately, not consistently, totally and completely miserable. All of us are crazy in very particular ways. I love this author. This is the author speaking, not me. We're distinctively neurotic, unbalanced, and immature, but don't know quite the details because no one ever encourages us too hard to find them out about ourselves. Yay! An urgent primary task of any lover is therefore to get a handle on the specific ways in which they are crazy. This is from the UK, so they say mad. They have to get up to speed on their individual neuroses. They have to grasp where these people have come from. God, this sounds like me. What they make them do, and most importantly, what sort of people either provoke or assuage them. A good partnership is not so much one between two healthy people. There aren't many. Oh, I thought he or she said aren't any. She says they aren't many on this planet. I would say there aren't any. It's one between two demented people who have either the skill or the luck to find a non-threatening conscious combination between their relative insanities. it sort of it really feels like I wrote this post. It sounds so much like me. It feels like I'm trying to prove the opposite position of what I believe. So yes, we're all crazy, we're all demented, we're all neurotic, we're all unbalanced. And there aren't many emotionally healthy people on this planet, but there's no luck involved in finding that non-threatening conscious combination between two insanities. It's all skill, folks. And I'm not sharing this because I have the skill. I don't really have that much. The skills I have, I've gained in therapy and recovery. And they're gained slowly and painstakingly. Skills like listening non-reactively. That's the number one skill. Not thinking like a victim, probably number two. Embracing one's marital pain and vulnerably sharing one's feelings. While gaining such skills is a monumental task for every couple, some of us, including me and my gal Betsy, have just a lot more work to do than others because some people are just, their childhood was more reactive and, like I said, they're inner babies instead of inner children. And I have a lot of couples like this that come in and they've tried all sorts of therapy and they're just miserable and they're just erratic and unstable and they need answers. And the answers lie in, you married the right person, but it's going to be a hard sledding process for you, my friends. And I can point you in the right direction, I can give you some tools, and I can help you figure it out, but it's still going to be painful. The very idea, this is the author, that we might not be too difficult as people should set off alarm bells in any particular prospective partner. The question is just where the problems will lie. In other words, don't present to people that you ain't crazy, because you crazy as the rest of us. The only problem is, where are the problems? Perhaps we have a latent tendency to get furious when somebody disagrees with us. Sounds like my girlfriend. Nobody tell her I said that. And or we can only relax when we are working. That sounds like me. Or we're a bit tricky around intimacy after sex. Or we've never been good at explaining what's going on or what we're worried about. It's these sort of issues over decades that create catastrophes, and that we therefore need to know about way ahead of time in order to look out for people who are optimally designed to withstand them. A standard question on any early dinner date should simply be, and how are you mad? I love that. Imagine a first line, so tell me, in exactly what way are you crazy? Would probably be a pretty good line, I would think, especially if the person answered honestly. So that's sort of the point of dating, to figure out how the other person is crazy and to see if there's a match. What I'm saying is, if our crazy matches their crazy, then nobody's going to be able to talk us out of falling in love with this person before it's too late to save them from the wedding chapel. That's what I'm saying. So the author says the problem is that knowledge of this is important. This is so good. The problem is that the knowledge of our own neuroses is not all that easy to come by. It can take years and situations that we have no experience with. Prior to marriage, we're rarely involved in dynamics that properly hold up a mirror to our disturbances. Whenever more casual relationships threaten to reveal a difficult side of our natures, we just blame them and ditch them. We call it a day. As for our friends, they predictably don't care enough about us to have any motive to probe too deeply into our real selves. They just want a nice evening out, hanging out with us. Therefore, we end up blind to the awkward sides and the dysfunctional sides of our natures. On our own, when we're furious, we don't shout, as there's no one there to listen, and therefore we overlook the true worrying strength of our capacity for rage. Or we work all the time without grasping because there's no one calling us home for dinner and being mad at us. How we manically use work to gain a sense of control over life, and how we might cause hell if anyone tried to stop us. At night, all we're aware of is how sweet it would be to cuddle up with someone, but we have no opportunity to face the intimacy avoiding side of us that would start to make us cold and strange if ever it felt we were too deeply committed to somebody. I'm preaching to myself here. I love this writer. I wish they'd have given he or her credit. If anybody finds out who the writer is, let me know. So exactly, the author just made my point for me about the nature of marriage. Mother Nature designed marriage to trap us and to either use Chinese water torture slowly or explosions quickly to force us to learn a thing or two about ourselves. And that's why we pick who we pick. The author has one last statement. One of the greatest privileges of being on one's own is the flattering illusion that one is, in truth, really quite an easy person to live with. All the people who live alone believe that, but it ain't true. So it takes love and marriage to expose us as the supremely flawed and broken and crazy and very difficult people to live with that we really are. All of us. And that's not shame. That's just humanity, folks. So tune in. I've got some more videos and some more blogs on this topic here, because it's excellent material. That I just think the writer just has a way of saying things, even though they're completely wrong in what they're saying. They've grappled. This author has grappled with the issues, and they understand everything except the big picture. So listen, if you have not joined our YouTube channel, do that. Subscribe to us, Family Tree Counseling, on YouTube, and visit our website. These troubling abandonment issues and shame issues, I've got books on our website that you can download, and they'll help you a lot. They really will. By the way, I was told by several people, if there's any Breaking Bad fans out there, the actor who plays Mike, Jonathan, and I always forget his name, last name, starts with a B. But he, everybody's telling me I look like him, so might be true. It's scary to think of. So thanks for watching the video. And like I said, if you haven't visited our website, it's familytreecounseling.com. And I will talk with you next week. Take care.